Hey everyone, today I'm excited to show you an interior we designed and brought to life at my studio. In this project I've incorporated some cool ideas I've talked about in other videos, like how to place a sofa in the center of the small space when every inch counts, and how to keep the kitchen looking neat by hiding all the clutter. Plus, this apartment has an amazing bathroom with a unique sink. I also want to introduce you to my team behind this project, Katya and Sima. You might have seen them in some of my other videos, and today they'll be walking you through the space.
The entryway is part of the same open space as the kitchen and living room. We deliberately didn't separate it with walls or doors to make the space feel as open and spacious as possible. The entryway starts with a mirror and a small console, a compact console for storage. You can store documents, bags, and other small items here. This isn't just a regular cabinet, there's a special cat litter tray built into the bottom. And it's not just any litter tray, it's connected to the plumbing system. It's a super smart litter box. Everything here is smart. Smart door, smart litter box. On the right, it looks like just some decorative slats. It seems like a regular cabinet, but it's actually a whole utility space where we've organized everything the clients needed. There's a small coat closet, a washing machine, a dryer, ironing boards. Basically, all household storage is tucked away here, but it just looks like a simple cabinet.
It looks very minimalistic because the glass and slats aren't solid doors or walls. They keep the space feeling light and airy while still providing good zoning.
From the back of the entryway, you can access the bathroom. There's just one bathroom in this apartment since only 2 people live here, and that's enough for them. The door is concealed, as we usually do. It extends up into the ceiling to keep the walls as clean and uninterrupted as possible.
But I think we can smoothly move on to the next area, the kitchen and living space.
In the kitchen living area, the first thing we did was combine the 2 spaces. We placed a large island that serves as both a dining area and a food prep zone. There's also a big modular sofa with movable backrests. You can turn it toward the TV or the kitchen, depending on what you need. And of course, storage was a priority because everyone has things they need to put somewhere. Since we stick to minimalism, we opted for an accent wall instead. Behind the TV, there's a porcelain stoneware accent wall, but some sections open up. The entire lower console and the side sections have hidden storage with plenty of shelves for books and other items.
Guys, keep in mind that when we do accent walls with porcelain stoneware, we always make 45-degree cuts at the edges. Otherwise, it won't look neat or minimalistic. Katya, look, we've got some interesting ceiling solutions here. Can you explain why we chose to do it this way?
That's because, like in many of our projects, we used a ducted ventilation and air conditioning system. To install it, we needed to run air ducts which take up space behind the drop ceiling. Instead of lowering the entire ceiling, we created a structured design with a slight protrusion. We also highlighted it with a wood veneer finish to make it look intentional. Not just a technical element, but something that adds warmth to the minimalistic space. Wooden accents like these help soften the overall look. And here, the black linear vents are seamlessly integrated. That's where the air supply and return happen.
Stop! Guys, we haven't mentioned one of the main features of this project.
Uncontrolled lighting.
It's uncontrolled for now because our clients moved in quite recently. They haven't fully set up the smart home system the way they want yet, since smart home settings are customized for each client. But there's this cool lighting that changes colors and is triggered by a motion sensor. So as we walk around, it turns on and off from time to time. For now, it has a life of its own, but soon.
Yes, and actually this smart home system controls not just the lighting, but also air conditioning, music, and curtains. So while we were setting up for filming, the house was basically running itself. Music turned on, curtains moved on their own, and so on. But soon, everything will be fully controlled.
The kitchen in this project is just as high-tech and stunning. Katya is going to show it to us now. Let's go.
Well, let's start with the fact that, as true fans of hiding everything possible, we've completely concealed the kitchen cabinets. What remains visible is this large, stylish island. There's no range hood above it because it's built into the cooktop. So instead, we placed a statement light fixture above the cooktop. These doors open with a simple motion. and everything opens up like this. You can actually cook with the cabinets open. It still looks really cool and minimalistic, so in everyday life, you don't even have to close them. But if you have some appliances out, maybe a steamer, you can quickly close everything and keep it out of sight.
Again, there are different lighting scenarios here. In the evening, when it's dark outside, you can turn on the overhead lighting or add accent lights for a completely different ambiance. By the way, guys, we also use this little thing, a built-in soap dispenser. We plan for it in advance, cut out a spot in the countertop, and that helps reduce visual clutter. If you just leave a bottle of dish soap here, it won't look as minimalistic. So if you have the option to add a dispenser, definitely go for it. That's our recommendation.
If that's not an option, just transfer your dish soap into a sleek black bottle. As for storage, since the niche here is quite small, because you have a huge island, everything on the right and left of the work area is dedicated to storage. Here, you have storage for dishes, glasses, and appliances. The fridge is over here, along with some extra storage. And the island has plenty of drawers for utensils, cutlery, and more. We also built outlets into the island. You can press to pop them up, use them, and then push them back down so they don't get in the way. Seema, where are you?
There's also a wine fridge here. And by the way, this fridge also opens with a sensor. Hold on, and there you go. What do you think?
There are so many cool little features here. We'll show you more of these in the walk-in closet too. The bathroom in this project is really spacious. It has both a bathtub and a separate shower, plus plenty of room overall. We played around with unconventional geometry here. The countertop under the sink actually extends over the bathtub, forming a built-in shelf. And with the lighting too, there are multiple lighting scenarios that can be controlled via the smart home system. Plus, you can even listen to music while in the bath. I think the beauty of this bathroom lies in the details. We use some really unique faucet designs here. The sink and the faucet in the bathtub area are from Falper, and they look truly unique and unconventional. We love details like this. Even though they're from two different manufacturers, they share the same design language.
Katya, could you open the shower and show our rain shower head?
Yes, the rain shower is built into the ceiling. Of course, there's also a handheld shower head for a convenience, but in addition to that, the rain shower comes with built-in lighting. You can turn it on and create a waterfall effect if you like. Just hope the sensor doesn't activate right now. I also want to mention the geometry of this space. I already mentioned the countertop that extends over the bathtub. We also built a small wall section behind the toilet with hidden lighting. It serves as a storage unit, housing water meters, leak protection systems, and other utilities. The mirror is actually a large storage unit filled with shelves. I won't open it now, but it's been carefully designed to store all sorts of bottles and jars, something girls tend to have a lot of.
Can you talk about how we laid out the porcelain tiles?
Yes, we almost always use large format porcelain tiles to minimize seams on the walls. The key is to position the seams thoughtfully. Here, for example, we aligned them with the center of the wall, which extends through the bathtub center down to its edge and continues across the floor, all forming one continuous line. On the other side, the edge of the bathtub aligns perfectly with a vertical seam that continues seamlessly into the cabinet division and extends up to the ceiling. So it's an entire system of interconnected lines. Well, the most important room in any apartment is probably the bedroom. Here, it feels super cozy because about 80% of the space is taken up by the bed. It's absolutely massive with wide side panels and an oversized headboard, but it creates such an incredible effect. You just want to dive right into it.
I feel like we might get some hate in the comments because this type of bed isn't very common, but honestly, I think it's super comfortable. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this bed. Would you get one for yourself?
Another thing I love about it is how the soft, slightly asymmetrical headboard fits perfectly in this space. There's a sharp corner in the room, and the bed's design helps soften it. Instead of a super rigid, straight-edged bed, we went for something more sprawling, almost like a cozy lounge area. So the contrast between the sharp corner and the bed doesn't stand out as much. On one side, we have a bedside table with storage, and along the entire bed, running along the wall, there's a slim metal shelf. It's perfect for placing your phone, charging it. The vanity is absolutely stunning. We used an adjustable wall lamp and a mirror. In cases like this, we install lighting both above and below the tabletop to create the effect of a seamless floating surface that's integrated into the wall.
And the real wow factor in this space is the massive walk-in closet.
The walk-in closet is another key area in any home. It needs to be as functional as possible. We designed separate sections for him and her with a mix of open and closed storage. Everything is positioned at a convenient height so you can easily reach any shelf. There's also a dedicated shoe section. But the real highlight of this closet is the full wall mirror. It reflects the window across from it, creating an incredible illusion of more space and extra light in the room. Just like in the rest of the apartment, we've incorporated different lighting scenarios. You can have red lighting, blue, or purple, depending on your mood today. We slightly tinted the glass so that when it's closed, the mix of different clothing colors isn't too distracting. Since clothes come in all shades this way, it all looks a bit more muted behind the tinted glass.
I think this is an amazing space. One of my favorites in the apartment. Honestly, I feel like every area in this apartment is great, even though the layout itself has this sharp corner from the developer. By the way, we'll now head to the office and show you how we worked with the unusual shape there too. But despite that, it doesn't feel awkward at all. Instead, it feels well-planned, cozy, and just really pleasant to be in. This is the office area, which, by the way, is connected to the bedroom. Here, we have a floor-to-ceiling door, but because of the ceiling level transition, this particular door isn't all the way up, though it still matches the height of the other doors. The office also has a tricky layout because of this angled wall from the developer. Tell us how we worked with this space.
We work with what we have. If this had been just one large space, the shape wouldn't have been as noticeable. But since the client needed a dedicated office, it turned into this trapezoidal-shaped room. Plus, we had to fit a lot of storage and 2 full workstations, one of them even with dual monitors. So what did we do? We divided the space a bit. When you enter, you step into a kind of buffer zone from which you can either go into the bedroom or into the office area. And we positioned these workstations not side by side, so people wouldn't disturb each other, but perpendicularly along the long side of the office.
Let me tell you why we have so many shelves here. It's not just for decoration. When our clients first reached out to us and we were putting together the technical requirements, one of them mentioned that he collects Lego. So eventually, his collection will be displayed right here.
The Lego has already arrived in the apartment, but it hasn't been fully assembled or arranged yet.
All right, let's go into more detail. We also have some storage here. Let's go and show it.
The main workstation is placed against the partition wall so that sunlight doesn't interfere with work or cause glare on the monitors. There's also a large side panel on this desk, which further shades the area and makes working here more comfortable.
The second workstation is a bit closer to the window, and to prevent sunlight from being an issue, we created this cutout in the desk area. Our straight curtains extend all the way down and meet at an angle, shading the space effectively. There's no glare on the monitor, making it a very convenient place to work. And there are also these adorable cats here. They're helping us record this tour today.
According to our client's initial request, there was supposed to be a sofa bed in the living room. But since we're not fans of sofa beds, because to put it mildly, they don't look great, we suggested going for a stylish modular sofa in the living room. And as for an extra sleeping area for guests, we integrated it here in the office. You might not even notice it at first, but actually, this panel folds down, the chairs move aside, and it turns into a full-fledged sleeping area.
I think it's a great solution because it's not always easy to incorporate something like this. But here, the space is really versatile. You can work, spend time together, and if friends come over, you can let them stay overnight. We maximized every inch of this room.
And most importantly, we kept the living room looking stylish with a cool sofa.
And the office itself turned out great too. And by the way, I really like the lighting here too. In addition to the ceiling spots and backlighting, there are also these interesting stretch lines which are repeated in the bedroom. They create a soft, diffused light that shines on the ceiling, reflects off it, and gives a gentle effect.
They also look really nice in the space because they create 2 lines and give a strong accent.